Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with the first episode reaction to Bocchi the Rock. This is our replacement series for Symphogear, and it is a donation reward for Matthew Vasquez. So thank you, Matthew, for donating for this. So Bocchi the Rock. I know this has to do with music. I know the main character is this pink-haired girl, and I know that it's a comedy. I've seen a GIF pretty commonly of the pink-haired girl like kind of literally like glitching out while laying on like the ground and stuff. Like I don't obviously know the context behind that, but okay. Um, I know a lot of people have really like raved about how funny this is. It's a comedy, and talked about like how like really good it is because everyone's talking about it. Everyone is fucking talking about this series. It is everywhere, constantly. I can't get away from it. And that's the reason why I chose to kind of push this ahead of other donation reward reactions to get to first. Because I want to get to it. And I don't want to constantly be worried about being spoiled because it very much would be a issue here. I am surprised I am not spoiled on more than I am. Like, I'm just really surprised I don't know more about this right now, but I don't want to have a risk of learning anymore. And again, it's just with how big this is, I just kind of want to get to it. You know what I mean? So yeah, the title doesn't really tell me much of anything. If it's about music, I assume rock, like maybe rock music. That would be cool. Bocchi, I no fucking clue. I don't know a lot of Japanese, so it's like I don't know what that means. And maybe it's the character's name. I don't know. I really don't know what to expect from this. Um, like I said in the last Symphogear reaction for season one, um, people are like talking about how funny this is and how it's a comedy anime and everything. Um, and for me, the kind of go-to comedy anime in my eyes is Nichijou. It's the funniest anime I've legitimately ever seen. And I still stand by that it is kind of a must-see if you like comedy in your anime. Um, Either dub or sub, both are good. And yeah, I'm hoping genuinely that this can live up to that. Um, and I'm gonna try my best not to just like say to just have like this. Oh, this is not as funny as Nichijou, so I hate it. No, I'm not gonna do that. Like that would be shallow and stupid as fuck. um, I'm gonna give this a fair shake. Obviously, I'm going to try and hopefully like it, as I do with any series. I have no idea what I'm gonna think about it. The thing is, with it being so fucking popular, with it being so like absolutely monumentally huge, like I have no idea what I'm gonna think. Because sometimes when anime get that big, I don't like them, like Code Geass or Neon Genesis Evangelion. But sometimes when they get that big, I do like them, like One Piece as a great example of that. One Piece is probably one of the most popular, biggest anime in the world, if we're being honest. Um, and the manga as well, of course. But yeah, so it's like sometimes yes, sometimes no. I mean, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood's another extremely popular one, and I love that series. Death Note as well. So it's like, yeah, there's examples on both sides, so it could go either way. And again, without knowing much of anything about this, it's like I have no clue what I'm going to think. We'll just have to see. Um, but I'm very willing to give it a chance, very willing to check it out, and hopefully it ends up being another surprise hit like Symphogear was. Um, but for now, we are just going to get right into this first episode and hope for the best. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, I actually think the ending theme is better than the opening theme. Both visually and musically. I just think it's better. But let's talk about this. So, the series centers around Goto Hitori, who is a high school girl who has been chronically shy her whole life. Not quite on the level of Komi from Komi-san Can't Communicate, but definitely still up there. She has a very hard time communicating and holding conversation, starting conversation, but she, and like Komi though, she actively wants to have that. She wants friends, she wants communication, she wants to be in a band, like she wants to get over her social anxiety. And she's just not good at it. But she's trying. She's giving it her all and just second guessing every step of the way. So we see that in 3 years, she learned how to play guitar really well, enough that she puts out these covers on YouTube, and it has become really popular. 30,000 subscribers, a lot of compliments everywhere. Yeah. But, as we find out later in the episode, she can't play in a band. And that's a completely different thing, because, as was mentioned, you have to know how to, play in sync with your bandmates. And there's a lot more that goes to that than just playing on your own in the closet. As she enters high school, though, she's trying her best to convince herself to change, and it's still proving hard to her until one day she's just kind of invited to join a band by this random girl who comes across her in the park. Their guitarist flaked on them, so she's invited to join, and is kind of almost literally dragged along into doing so. She ends up joining them for the performance, though she has to hide in a box to be able to do it. And it's very clear that this show is going to be about her kind of coming out of her shell and using music as a way to, become more sociable. And again, as I said in the reaction, my sister would probably not like this. Like I said, my sister is an introvert, and she's okay with that. She likes her free time. She enjoys being on her own. Like, she'll go out and do stuff with people and everything every now and again, but I would honestly say, prefers her alone time. And I don't understand that personally, but it's what it is. I am an extrovert, on the other hand, but I'm very much like Bocchi, and that is actually her name. I can't say that now; it's a nickname. I am very much like her in the fact that I am extroverted. I want to have social interaction. I actively seek it out, even to a degree. But I am extremely shy and timid around people. And again, I've gotten better over the years through doing YouTube, through going to conventions and hosting panels there. It's like I've been able to get much better at social interaction, much better. But back when I was in school, yeah, I was very much the same as Bocchi. Maybe not quite to the same degree, because as I said in the reaction, I could at least hold a conversation. If someone asked me something or wanted to talk to me, it's like, which did occasionally happen in some of my classes, I could hold a conversation. I could speak. If I was asked to read something in English class or something, I could read it. Yeah, it was about starting conversations myself and just, trying to be around people and everything, that was the issue for me. But a lot of that, very much, a lot of my experience was seen in here for sure. Um, and so, yeah, there was definitely a degree to which I connected to Hitori. Or is it Hitori or Hitomi? Hitori, Hitomi, either one. I'm just gonna say Bocchi for now until I get more confirmation on that. Because again, I'll hopefully get the names down. I do not remember the names of either of the other girls though. Well, I guess any of the three of them because we saw the other girl at one point too. Um, but yeah, it's like I see a lot of that connection. Now, as for the comedy, most of the comedy in this was just kind of eh. Like it wasn't bad. It was just kind of eh. The only joke that really I really found funny was the fake ending gag. Like I can't even entirely explain why to you, but for some reason that was really fucking hilarious to me. Um, I think part of it is also because it actually tricked me. Like I actually thought it was the end of the episode. Um, but yeah, it's like it's not really that funny so far. This was only the first episode, mind you, so it has time. But yeah, it wasn't that funny. Um, it definitely nowhere near the level of Nichijou. Nowhere near, not even close. Um, but not bad. Again, none of the jokes were bad. It's just not very much of it was actually like that good either. So hopefully that improves. The voice acting fine, the art and animation fine. None of that was an issue. None of that was an issue at all. Um, yeah, it's just this is definitely one of those shows that I have to see where it goes. I cannot judge this on just the first episode. Um, but yeah, it's pretty interesting as an idea. And it kind of seems like this is like at least between this and Komi, like this kind of idea of like socially anxious main characters trying to overcome that is that just a big thing right now? Is like are other anime doing this too? um, it's like with Western animation and doing the entire thing about how a lot of movies are doing generational trauma nowadays. Not even just with animation, apparently. Other movies are apparently doing it too. But like you see stuff like Encanto and whatnot, and various other films like that, touching on generational trauma, and it's like, oh, that's just becoming kind of a small thing. Turning Red is another great example. Um, People have pointed that out. So I wonder if this is just a thing that's going on right now, even if to a small degree. Um, but yeah, so I don't like see the massive appeal in it yet. Um, if I were to just judge based on this episode, which I'm not actually doing, but if I were to, I would say that it is extremely overrated. um, and I assume though, and that's why I'm continuing to give it more of a chance and everything. I assume that people praising the shit out of this series and talking about it so much is not because of just one episode. If like the first episode probably got their attention but didn't like win them over like insanely like to that insane of a degree right from the start. It became more popular as it continued, and more people started talking about it, more people started getting the word out, and the episodes started getting better presumably. It's like because the point of a first episode is to pull you in. It's to draw you in and make you want to continue watching, which I think this episode does. It's not meant to be the best episode. If your first episode is your best episode, you're doing something wrong. Genuinely, like if your first episode is your best, you probably have a bad series on your hands because the what you want to do is to make it continue to be better and better. You want the series to get better. Not every episode's going to be always better than the last one. You're going to fluctuate a little bit, but you want the episodes to continuously, like, overall get better. And that, I think, is one of my biggest problems with Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Because it's like, the first episode wasn't even that good. And then it's just like, a couple episodes were randomly really good, and then everything else was bad after that again. And it's just like, in my opinion, mind you, I know I'm very, very much in the minority on there. But yeah, it's just I've seen shows like that where it's like it starts off really good and then just takes a nosedive, or it has like a couple episodes randomly that are really good and just the rest of it sucks. It sucks at the beginning, it sucks at the end. It's like just a couple random episodes just happen to be really good. Um, and then you have the shows that do get better over time. Even again, if not every episode and every part is better than the last every time. But it's like you have stuff like One Piece. I'll just name that because it's my favorite series. But like, yeah, there's parts in One Piece that take a little drop, like the Long Ring Longland arc. But then it comes right back after that with fucking Water 7 in Eni's Lobby. And Long Ring Longland in the first place is following like Skypiea. So it's like you have a drop, a dip sandwiched between two high points. You're going to have that, especially in long running series like One Piece. Um, and like with Ruby, let's use that as an example too. Ruby, I think each volume is better than the last, like as a whole. But there are episodes in probably every volume that take a dip. There are episodes that just aren't as good as the others. That just happens. It's just the thing. And there are moments in each volume, like specific moments that really take a dip, really take a dive. I mean, hell, Volume 8 proved that at the end with Penny. I still hate that. I really fucking hate that still. I'm not getting over that. But yeah, the point is, it's like you're going to have dips, but you want your starting episode to be good enough to pull people in, to get their attention and make them want to continue watching more, which I think, again, this series has done. And you want the overall quality to scale up from there, even if there's a couple dips along the way. You want the overall quality to scale up from there and to, for it to continue to invest you in what's going to come next. That's my view on it, at least. That's my view on it. And obviously, with different shows, it's handled differently. Like One Piece, obviously, is so long running and is focused on arcs. So with a series like that, you have to, you judge it based on an arc and stuff. Like, this arc is, this good, this one's not so good, this one is fucking amazing, and so on and so forth. But with, a series like this, I think this is 13 episodes, I want to say, and might get a season 2 at some point with how popular it is. But it's like, with a series like this, it's like you basically have to judge it by the halfway point, I would say. It's like halfway in, it's like if you're not invested, if you don't care about this series, then you're probably not going to. By 6 episodes in, it's like if you're not into this series, you're probably not going to be. And because with a 13 episode series, it's that's kind of what you have to do. You have to very much make it clear that it's sold the viewer by that point. And again, it's going to be different depending on different viewers too. It's all subjective, and different people are going to look for different things and be entertained by different things. Which is why most people like stuff like Arcane and Cyberpunk Edge Runners, but me and some few others don't. Or why I love certain things like Erased, but a lot of people don't. Erased is actually very divisive in that regard. And so on and so forth. It's all subjective. It's all fine. Um, but this series so far with the first episode, it drew me in. I want to see more, and I feel like I need to see more to get a good feel for what it's going to be like. If I like it, I like it, but I can't decide that quite yet. I need to see more first. So we'll see. We'll see. That's all I can say. But I'm very much willing to give anything a chance. So no matter what, it's like I'm very much hoping this ends up being really good, and I'm willing to find out. So let me know your thoughts on the first episode of Bocchi the Rock down in the comments below. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.